Hello, today I'm here to record a tutorial on how to make this plane here. It's called frostbite. It is not my design. It's slightly different from the original, but it isn't exact. It's barely different. It's almost the exact same as the original. Almost. But first of all, grab yourself a sheet of printer paper. I personally like using printer paper, but you can use origami paper. I like using printer. So first of all, we need square and not printer paper. So let's make this square. I hope my hair isn't in this shot. So definitely one of the things you'll need might be something skinny like the tip of a paintbrush or a pencil. It's just for shaping though, it's not for any folds, just for shaping. Sorry about that. My sister is on a phone call, and for some reason she makes her phone calls obnoxiously loud, and my voice isn't that loud. So first of all, let's for a sheet. And why is there a wet spot when there's nothing wet over here? I don't know why it's wet, but okay. I'm gonna fold it diagonally in half. So we have an X on a sheet of paper. I'll flip it over, fold it in half, both directions. I do gotta clean up this edge I ripped a little improperly. There we go. But yeah, there we go. It's cut. Now what we're gonna do is make this diamond base. So there is this way you can make it, but another way you can make it is folding it in half. Folding one side up like this and folding another side up like this. Be this pocket in the middle. Stick ooh, come on. Okay, stick your finger in there and squish it. That's another way you can make the base. But doing the way I did is just a little bit more accurate, but you can do it the other way. Whatever way floats your boat. And now, I don't know why I have a times table. Ooh. Why I have a times table there, but I don't need a times table. But now, first thing is we're gonna make a fold to here. And next, we're gonna fold from here down to our center crease and line it up with the center. I like creasing with my nails. Make sure you crease with your nails. Else it might not look the best. It might not. You want to try your best to make sure everything lines up nice and correctly. Next, I'm gonna open up these creases, and what we're gonna do here is open up this pocket here. This might come up, and with this crease here, see, this is where we fold it up. This is our crease. We're just gonna flatten it like this. I want to have this over here. all we're going to do is open it along the creases. We're going to make a squash fold. Nice and sharp. So next, from down here to this bottom, we are going to fold it up to the center line. Yeah, it should look like this. Same with the other side. Alright. Yeah. Sorry that happened. Yeah, it should look like this. What we're gonna do is, I do not have a pen. Actually, never mind. Give me a second. So what I'm doing here, I'll ready to put it down, but a valley fold along this line here, where it goes from here to here. As we fold, make sure it's lined up with the center. Also, pinch it where looks like that. Okay. You can tell mine is a little bit off center. Yeah. I just got to deal with it. So once we did that, we're just gonna open it and unfold this and put everything back into our diamond base, which is this. And what we're gonna do here is, you can see it has a star shape, but along these creases here, valley, and these are gonna be a valley, this is gonna be a mountain, this is gonna be a valley. So just to help, I'm just gonna lightly press on these. And then what we're gonna do here, this crease, I'm gonna push up on this crease, push down on these two creases here. And when we do that, we should have something kind of like this. And what we're gonna do is push on these edges and collapse it like this. Then you get this little flap. Just flatten everything and put it either to the left or the right side, doesn't matter. So this is where we're gonna make our wing and our tail. Next, we are gonna flip this over. So this is gonna be your bottom. Our top is the part where there's no flap. Just gonna fold these to the center crease again. Double check. Oh, it's a little bit off. It's a little bit off. It's a little bit off. Should look like this now. What I'm going to do is we're going to open both of these sides. And I'm going to start with our right side here. Open this. And squash fold it. And only with our left side, we're going to fold it like this to the center. And for the right side, we're only gonna do the same thing, but we're only gonna fold our right side this time. So it looks like this. So we're gonna use this later to help form our locking mechanism and our cockpit. This is gonna be our cockpit right here, but it's gonna be up here instead. So we're gonna start getting into more complicated folding, like this. So what we're gonna do here is we're opening this pocket here and making a crease from this point to this point. Open it and flatten. So it should look like this. We're gonna do the same thing to the other side. And it should look like this. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold down along this crease here. And you can see this side isn't creased, but we're gonna crease it. And what we're gonna do is fold this edge here up to that edge there to finish that crease. Then we're gonna unfold it and do the same to the other side. One thing is for sure, like when I do these tutorials, instead of me looking at the paper, I look more at the camera, so some of my folds aren't as accurate. So it should look like this now. Now what we're gonna do here is just open it back up to this position, and now we're gonna line it up the center and just flatten it. Now what we're gonna do next is, so we have a crease going along here on both sides. So yeah, those two creases there. And what I'm going to do is just fold up on it, and you can tell that there's this little pocket that's forming. What I'm going to do is squish it where it lines up with here, and this should end roughly a little bit before or right at the center, just like that. Then same with the other side. Then our next step is where these lines intersect. We're not going to fold it here since it is off center. We're going to fold it here where it lines up at the center here. We'll fold down, and we're going to give a little bit of gap because this fold here is going to be some slip. And we're going to leave a smaller gap than our last fold. Then now we're going to fold this. What we're going to do with these two creases we have, we're going to make a rabbit ear fold that looks like this. This is going to be our engine intake. Just fold it to both sides. It's going to be part of the bottom. So what we just did is made this part of our model. I did use this in a paper airplane competition, so it kind of looked a little beat up. This is how the model's supposed to look when done. So what we just did is that. And this here is going to be our leading edge of the wing here. So what we're going to do here is actually reinforce the nose. So how we're going to do that is we're going to open this up, and we're going to do, we don't want it to crease all the way, but you want to crease it somewhat. We're just going to fold the edge there and end right about here, and fold everything back together. What we're going to do here is with that crease, tuck it under and make sure everything's nice and lined up. This is optional, but this is to reinforce the nose so there's less bending, but it is optional. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's an optional fold. So what we just did is optional, but I recommend it if you're, especially if you're making this with origami paper instead of regular printer paper. Make sure everything's back into shape. The next is we're going to reverse fold these here. So what we're going to do is open it and we're going to fold it like this inwards and fold this up, fold this down. So it should look like this. What we just did is, here's our point, push here and fold this up. This goes over. So it should look just like this. If you flip over, you can see we successfully reverse folded. Next is we are going to make a fold from here, this little tab we have here, and end it right here. And do it with the other side as well. And next, with both sides, we're gonna get this edge. Sorry about that. Recenter. There we go. Should be good. Now what we're gonna do is fold this edge down to here. And just like that, we are going to fold up to here. Now, same with the other side, this edge to this edge. And fold this up along this edge and make it should line up. Fold this should line up with this, and then this should line up with this. And sorry, there you go. Now we're going to unfold both them. And what we're going to do here is open this, and we're going to fold this in. What we're doing is fold one like this. This is going to go out like this. It's going to go in like this. And should lay down looking something kind of like this. So what I did here is open this up, fold this down, and mountain, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain. Mountain fold here. Valley fold here. In the center is going to be a mountain. Just like that. There is our main tail shape. And then next, these two little tabs here, we're going to fold from here and make our tip line up with here. Just like that. Same with the other side. Make sure this is sharp. We're going to reverse these folds. And flip it over, and here you can see our folds. What we're going to do is just do this. Boom. And now we're going to get to our later folds. So we're going to form the cockpit and our locking mechanism. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna, from this point here to this point here, make a fold. It's gonna look like this. And you can see, look, these points don't want to lay down. So what are we gonna do? I'm gonna push inwards on them gently, manipulate it so it lays nicely. And it's gonna be a little difficult, but there you go. And when we fold it and it lays down, it's gonna look like this. So, see if I can do it a little bit more understandably with this one. Let's turn this into a pocket. Shake this out and push this until it's kind of getting there. Until it lays down and we get this. There we go. So should look like this. Then to make our cockpit, fold it down to here where these two creases meet the center line. And what we're gonna do here, make a fold from here. So it's here. Now we're not gonna go like this, but we're gonna fold it where this edge meets this edge. It's gonna look like this. And then same with the other side. Yeah. And what we're gonna do here is with our shorter side, which is by this corner here, we're gonna pull out, slide out this under layer of paper and open this up and flatten it. And go like this and do the same here. And we're gonna fold this edge to the center here. What we're gonna do is, now with this you can, I'm gonna use my pencil, stick it in there, open it, and I'm gonna make a squash fold, just like this. Gonna be our squash fold. So you can, these two lines here. So you can either fold it like this, but if you're just gonna fly it, or you're gonna use it as, if you want to fly it or you want it to lock together, here's what I recommend. This is how I make most of my cockpits. And all I'm gonna do is grab this, tuck it under here. Depending on what size paper you're using, I do recommend tweezers. And just like that, we have our cockpit. Then next, this step is optional if you're making it for display, but this step is necessary if you're going to use it for flying. That is making a locking mechanism. It looks like this, but the problem is when we overlap it, you have this in our way. So what we're going to do here is make a fold with this edge, line it up to the edge of our pocket here. So this is probably going to be one of the most complicated parts of the plane, even though it seems like very little. All I'm going to do here is I'm gonna fold along this edge here. See, when we fold along this edge, fold along the edge of this pocket, there's this squash fold trying to form. And hair, I cut it, getting in my eye. Or when we're squashing it, see that on this line here, squash it, should line up just like that with the center. And boom, it should look like this. And do the same here. It's kind of resisting, so we gotta pull it out pull it outwards a little bit and retry. And there we go. Should look like this. So, all right. This is the part where I can't really demonstrate well because I'm more focused on making sure our paper doesn't rip. Sorry, I am sitting on the desk because my legs are sore. But yeah, so the main thing is we're gonna have it where we're gonna try to have it where it doesn't rip. So let's explain this more deeply. What we're doing here is we're gonna push this tip in. What we're gonna do is push this in, this, and this is going to be a valley fold, and this is going to be a mountain fold. So we're going to finish this along here, and it's going to look like this. That's one of our interlocking tabs. So we just reversed it, so instead of it showing on the outside, it's on the inside. So I do recommend to either slow the video or just take your time on that step, because it is kind of hard. Even when my first time making this, I really did struggle and my paper would rip almost in half. I can hear the tearing sounds. So do this again. It's usually one side is looking better than the other when I do this. Let me pull this out of frame really quick. Folds look kind of sloppy, but yeah, looks like this on the inside. And then we're just gonna flatten it like this. Just make sure the inside is a little wrinkled. So let's just fix that up a little bit. Clean these creases up. Just like that. So, there we go. Then now, we're going to make the leading edge of our wing, which all we're gonna do here is at this edge, we're just gonna fold it to almost this edge here, but leave a small gap. Crease it and fold it in. And just make sure your crease is sharp. Same with the other side. So, there we go. Yeah. Boom, just like that. We have the leading edge of our wings in the front. So, if you like, you can glue this down later and flip it over. Next, we're going to make the rear edge of our wings as well. But first, let's make our exhaust. So what we're gonna do here is with this edge, we're gonna fold it, but with this tip here, we're gonna make it where it's in between here and here. So it's gonna look like this. Then I'm gonna tuck it in. Boom. Same with the other side. Almost there. Boom. Like that. And now, next, we are going to fold this up. What we're going to do is we're going to fold this up and line it up with this here. So it lines up with that here. So do the same thing with the other side. Now what we're gonna do, hold this down. This here, there's 2 flaps, but we're gonna go over both. And from tip of this crease here, I'm gonna make a line that goes all the way to here. Not a line, but a crease. Like the rear lead, that's gonna be like the rear end of our wing. And now smush it. It's gonna be like an advanced squash fold. So, if you're not good at guesstimating, just fold it like this and fold it over. But what I'm gonna do here is fold it into thirds. So I'm gonna fold it from here, line this up, that crease over there, fold it over. It should line up like that, just like that. And do the same thing to this side here. Make a line here, squish this, fold this down, fold this segment into thirds. Crease sharply. Just like that. We are getting close to being finished with their model. I like to call it model, but it's a paper airplane. We are getting closer and closer to the finish. So what we're gonna do here is fold our tail wings along here. We fold this first. Then next we're gonna fold our wing and our horizontal stabilizer here. Crease this sharply. Shouldn't perfectly line up with the back, but there you go. Then same with the other side. Sorry about that. Went out of frame. But it should look like, so we just folded it along here. Boom. Okay. And just undo them. And next we're gonna do our jet fold. So flip it over. What we're gonna do here is from the tip of our engine, which would be here, gonna make a fold all the way to back here. So let's do that fold. It's gonna be pretty thick. And just gonna crease it. It'll look like this. Then we're gonna do the same to the other side, but fold that over. And now do it to the other side. Then when we're done, we're just gonna push this down. Should look like this. Now you can see our shape taking form. Now, next, what we're gonna do is our locking mechanism. One of these is gonna be our main pocket, and one of these are gonna be a tab. So you can see, like, this one is a little bit smaller, so this is gonna be our main pocket. We'll put our tab. Actually, yeah, we're gonna put our tab in the pocket. And now on the bottom, push this aside, and all we're gonna do is open this, push it downwards like this. Now, pull up a little bit, and this crease here, we're gonna open it. Push it down into there. If you didn't do, like, the locking mechanism, actually here, and then I'm gonna fold it along itself here. And there we go. Just make sure you push nice and firmly. Then fold upwards like this. Like that. And now should make sure our horizontal stabilizers are nice and flat. Make these at an angle so it's kind of like this. Then next, we're going to open our exhaust and our main engine. So for our main engine, we're just going to press the edges together, stick our pencil in there, press down on this slightly, just twist it till we reach the back, which is here. And there is our air intake. Just press down a little bit on the front. Our afterburners, similar thing. I'm gonna go all the way in here. That. See that? And there we go. This is our paper frostbite. Here's how it looks. So let's see. Fly's not bad. That was just on my end of bad aim. But yeah, this flies pretty well as long as you throw it right and you make the correct adjustments. This isn't adjusted, so. But let's draw on a sheet of paper. So our adjustment should look like kind of like this. So here's our plane. Yeah, our plane will kind of like his center, edges, blah blah. So when we adjust this, our horizontal stabilizer should look kind of like this. Make sure both sides are even, and our wing look level. While our horizontal stabilizers will poke up very slightly, like this. So this is how your adjustment should look like. Okay, here's how the adjustment looks on the actual plane itself. You can see the poking up the horizontal stabilizer, but that's the adjusted version. And to make it fly better, stick a piece of tape right here, a little bit behind center weight. But yeah, this is our plane. All done and all finished. Let's try to give it one more throw. So we hold it a little bit behind the center, so it's like right here where there's no folds or creases. So hold it right there, and your toss. I am being very terrible at tossing this video, making my plane look bad. There you go. Good enough. But it's not easy tossing a plane with one hand. Or looking through a camera and tossing it, but yeah. Here's our model plane. Or a paper airplane, whatever you're gonna use it for. But here it is, the frostbite. I hope you enjoy making this, and my instructions are decently clear enough. Yeah. Rate my clearness of instruction in the comments, and have a nice rest of your day or your afternoon. I'll see you in my next video, where I will hopefully start to upload more origami tutorials.